The lawsuit comes down to the debate about state laws and federal laws and whether they conflict. Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin spoke with a constitutional law professor about how this lawsuit will play out and the impacts it'll have to you at home. Adam.
Yeah, Lindsay, this lawsuit's not going to be decided overnight. In fact, it could be years, and that's if Congress doesn't step in and create new immigration policy in the meantime. Right now, California law is still in place. There's nothing in this lawsuit that's asking for an immediate decision or change.
It's not unusual for states to sue the federal government, or vice versa. The paperwork battle begins when one or the other feel their rights are being violated. Those battles can be long, tedious, and involve a large sum of your money.
We're looking at a multi-year, multi-million-dollar lawsuit on both sides, and as you know, we can say that California is going to pay the U.S. costs or whatever, but the reality is we, the taxpayers, end up paying for the high-priced talent that California is going to use to bring this lawsuit, and we'll end up paying for the Justice Department's costs.
Glenn Smith is a professor of constitutional law at California Western School of Law. He says that is if you assume any lower court decision will be appealed. The lawsuit will end up finding its way to the Supreme Court. Speaking of the High Court, if it did get that far, to assume that justices would rule based on political leanings would be a mistake in this case.
One of the interesting things about this area of law that's called preemption is it tends to divide the court in non-ideological ways.
But we're a bit ahead of ourselves. Right now, you need to look at the lawsuit as three mini-lawsuits, since there are 3 California laws at issue. The court can make any number of decisions, but the reality is whatever they do decide will have lasting impact.
Every Supreme Court decision, even every lower court decision, sends a signal, suggests that we've moved the needle more toward the federal power side or more toward the state power side. And I think all those signals are correctly perceived by other states, other schools, other entities.
And one thing this lawsuit will not impact is federal funding. In the past, there's been that talk if you don't comply with federal law, it could jeopardize whether or not you're going to get those federal grants or that federal funding into cities and local entities. That's not an issue with this lawsuit. That's more geared toward the sanctuary cities argument. Reporting live, Adam Rakusin, Team 10.